Breaking right now, the Papal Conclave begins. All eyes on the Vatican this morning. 133 cardinals voting to elect the next pope, meeting under a centuries-old tradition by secret ballot. As the world watches that famous chimney, a black smoke indicating no new pope, white smoke meaning a new leader has been chosen. We are live to Rome for the latest.
Also right now on Dr. Phil's Merit TV, tensions intensify. Pakistan vowing retaliation after India launches missiles at its nuclear neighbor, killing at least 26 people. We have new details this hour.
Breaking overnight, a major announcement from the White House. U.S. and Chinese officials will finally meet, sitting down to talk tariffs this weekend.
And the Newark nightmare, the multi-day meltdown at one of our country's biggest airports. More delays, more cancellations this hour. Also, real ID requirements start today. What to do if you're traveling.
Day 3 of the Diddy trial. Jury selection winding down. Just who will decide the fate of the disgraced mogul?
And a shocking milestone in the Luigi Mangione case. His legal defense fund just surpassed $1 million. So why are people donating money to an accused killer caught on video?
And new allegations this morning against Motown legend Smokey Robinson from 4 former housekeepers. What they're saying today.
We've got those stories coming up. But first, our special coverage from the Vatican. And good morning. We are glad you're with us on this historic day. I'm Fanchen Stinger.
And I'm Joe Gum. Today is the day. All eyes are on the Vatican this morning. 133 cardinals preparing to begin the historic process of electing the next pope and the leader of the Catholic Church. The Sistine Chapel has been preparing for this moment since the pope's death, from installing the iconic chimney that alerts the world about how the vote is progressing to implementing high-tech jamming devices, ensuring the entire process remains as secretive as it was during the very first conclave in the 1200s. The schedule for today is a busy one. Earlier this morning, Rome time, St. Peter's Basilica held Mass for the cardinals to pray for guidance heading into this historic day. Let's listen in to part of that Mass.
Let us pray that God will grant the Church a Pope who knows how best to awaken the consciences of all and the moral spiritual energies in today's society.
Communion was given just a short time ago during the same service. Let's watch. Obviously, a beautiful moment preparing for this highly anticipated moment and event. 108 of 133 cardinal electors were named by Pope Francis. 20 of the cardinals were named by Pope Benedict XVI and 5 by Pope John Paul II. Now, whoever is chosen to lead the world's 1.4 billion Catholics will have big shoes to fill. Polling shows 76% of Catholics in the U.S. approved of the direction Pope Francis took the Catholic Church. The big question now is, will the next pope follow in his footsteps or take a more conservative biblical approach? Let's go live right now to correspondent Rafael Romo, who's live in Rome for us this morning. Rafael, good morning. The cardinals tasked with choosing a new pope have had a busy day. How did it begin?
Joe, good morning to you. Good afternoon from Rome. Well, it started with a Mass, and this was not any ordinary Mass. It was a Mass that in Latin is called Eligendo Romam Pontificem, which means to elect a new Pope. And this is a Mass that was attended by all the cardinal electors. There was a special message by the Dean of the College of Cardinals, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, who spoke about the importance of this moment for all the cardinals. precisely because the conclave is about to start. As a matter of fact, it starts in less than 30 minutes. And the cardinals participating in the conclave were there at that mass. It was a sight to see, Joe, because they all entered in procession and two by two approached the altar and kissed it before proceeding to their seats. And there are exactly 133 cardinals who are eligible to vote for a new pope, meaning the ones that are younger than 80. And I was telling you before, Giovanni Battista Re, the dean of the College of Cardinals, said during the homily that the cardinal electors are about to undertake what he called an act of the highest human and ecclesial responsibility, referring to the conclave as a choice of exceptional importance. Joe?
Yeah, like you said, what a seeing. Just the Cardinals going down the aisle there, people with their phones capturing this historic event. What can you tell us about the conclave right now? We know that it's just getting underway, correct? What's the next move?
Yeah, that's right, Joe. This is a very good moment to start talking about the conclave because in the last hour, the cardinals started to gather at the Pauline Chapel for a prayer service expected to be attended by all the electors. And then in less than half an hour, it is 4:06 here in Rome. In less than half an hour at 4:30 p.m. local time, the cardinals will start their procession to the Sistine Chapel, where in keeping with tradition, the conclave will be held. And that's when the real discussions begin. That's when the voting begins. And we expect to see smoke at some point today. Nobody really expects the smoke to be white, which would signify, it would mean for the world that there's a new cardinal. Most of us are expecting the smoke to be black, meaning an inconclusive ballot. But if history is any indication, Joe, in the last two conclaves to elect Pope Francis, and before that in 2005 for Benedict XVI, it took only 2 days. So people here that we talked to at St. Peter's Square and the Basilica behind me are expecting and are hoping, I would say, that this is also going to be a short and sweet conclave. Joe?
Yeah. What we're hearing, Raphael, how long do you believe the conclave is expected to last? Because we're hearing it shouldn't go past this Friday, but if it does that indicate anything?
Yes, so I've spoken to people here in Rome who are very close to the Vatican, and what they say is that the sooner this happens, it's going to signify that there's probably a European cardinal, somebody like Cardinal Parolin, who used to be the Secretary of State here at the Vatican, Cardinal Zuppi, who's a favorite among Italian people. The longer it takes, it's probably going to mean that it's going to be someone from elsewhere in the world. But a word of caution here, Joe, because you may remember that last time around in 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, who became Pope Francis, was not even mentioned among the favorites. So there's an adage here at the Vatican that says, if you enter the conclave as a pope, you leave as a cardinal. Anything can happen, Joe.
All right, a great setup, Raphael Romo, for a very important day.